Keir Starmer only wants to work till 6 o'clock on a Friday. Yes, you heard me right. Keir Starmer says he wants to clock off at 6 o'clock on a Friday. It looks like that we're going to have a part-time Prime Minister who doesn't want to work a full week. Well, I'm afraid to say that Keir Starmer will have to put the hours in when he becomes Prime Minister. It comes with the job. He has to be ready or on call for emergencies if emergencies arise, or there has to be an emergency Cobra meeting. I'm afraid Keir Starmer can't pick and choose his times he wants to finish work. Being Prime Minister is not an ordinary job from, say, 8 till 5. It's not like working in an office, working from 9 till 5. It's long hours, and you have to put the work in. All other Prime Ministers have had to do this before him. All over the years, they've had to put the hours in. I mean, you've only got to look at Winston Churchill in the Second World War. I bet he didn't get much sleep, and he couldn't just clock off when he wanted to, when World War II was on. I don't think Keir Starmer is going to be a good Prime Minister from the looks of it. He wants to pick and choose what he wants to do. Now, like I said, once you're Prime Minister, you've got to be prepared to put the hours in, and they are long hours. The work you have to do. It's a lonely job, this, being Prime Minister. You have to put the job first. Mind you, Downing Street hasn't been modernised over the years. It looks a damp, dreary place to work. It's a pity they can't build another Downing Street, a bigger one, like the White House. That would be a much better idea, but like I said, when you're Prime Minister, you have to put the hours in. You get very little sleep. Some days you don't know what day it is. Of the work you have to do, all the ministerial papers that comes your way, signing them and reading them and what have you. It's going to be a long, lonely job when you're Prime Minister, and you've got to be prepared to make sacrifices. You don't get to see your family much when you're Prime Minister, very rarely. The only time you'll get to see them is when there's the MPs have their recess, like in the summer, and they go on holiday. But even then, it involves work. But like I said, Starmer can't pick and choose when he wants to finish work, clocking off on a Friday and hoping to have a quiet long weekend, which you won't get, because you never know what's going to arise, what's going to happen in the world or in this country. Anything can happen. He's got to be on call all the while. I mean, yes, when you're Prime Minister, you have to make phone calls to other world leaders. You have to talk to world leaders, wherever they are in the world, whichever country they're prime ministers or presidents of. So I think that Starmer has got a shocker coming when he walks into Downing Street on Friday morning, and he doesn't realise what's going to happen to him, what's going to hit him. He's got tons of work to do. Like I said, government papers, they'll be non-stop. You'll be giving them non-stop, going through what the government papers and what have you. Yes, it's a lonely life when you're Prime Minister. I don't think he'll be Prime Minister for long. He'll probably only be Prime Minister for 5 years. I'll be very surprised if he's elected again as Prime Minister for a second term. He'll probably decide after 5 years he's had enough and he wants to quit, which I wouldn't be surprised he doesn't. There'll be when you're Prime Minister, you're under a lot of pressure. You've got one thing after another you've got to deal with. So that's the end of this video. Mr. Politics signing off here, and I'll see you all again in another video.